Good morning, everybody. This is the Hawk. I haven't been on for a while. I got injured and I'm just trying to recover. Today, I want to talk about the violation of minority rights. One has to take into account what happened during the apartheid years when black people were marginalized because of their race, their color, and the fact that the nationalist government at the time was more worried about losing the country to the British and retaining their identity and lost track. In the end, they came up with homelands, which was basically the same fear they had from the beginning of losing their identity and their culture. These people have been in Africa since 1652. Understandably, they are trying to survive. When the British came to South Africa, they tried to marginalize the Afrikaner or the Boers, and so they went north. The British subsequently brought in more immigrants in the 1820 settlers and abandoned them too. We have to take the history of South Africa as it stands now. The ANC government has placed 164 laws approximately in the way of the minorities in South Africa. Now, in 1994, there was free and fair elections. There was a constitution that was ratified that allowed that minorities would have rights. In a video that Mandela did, he talks about the constitution and he talks about the financial situation in South Africa. And this was a debate with the clerk. He talks about how distributing the money because of the corruption of the nationalist government. The problem is, when Mandela died, they put Zuma in there, who has no conscience at all. In fact, just the other day, everybody's been looking for him. He's sitting in parliament while Ace Mashula is now running the government. And the president of South Africa, Ramaphosa, is sitting there like a little boy with his hands in his lap. The fact of the matter is the South African government's going to change the constitution and violate every single minority in the country. Their rights will be completely wiped out. And the rest of the world, again, is doing nothing. If you really look at Mandela's history, he was a terrorist. The only reason you gave him the Nobel Peace Prize is because he said, we won't go and ask for revenge. Just like Malema said the other day, not right now, but I can't promise you in the future. The EFF is a terrorist organization. The ANC is a terrorist organization. They always have been. The South African Communist Party is a terrorist organization. The same South African Communist Party who demonstrated outside the US Embassy calling for the death of Americans. America supplies South Africa $9.4 billion in aid every year. every year. I want this stopped. I'm going to actively campaign to have it removed. And I want Lena Marks recalled. She is obviously uninformed or deliberately uninformed, and I don't see why hardworking United States citizens are sending money to a country that supports Iran, violates sanction laws, supports the violation of human rights for minorities, has threatened to go to war with the United States in helping Iran, is selling Iran South African weapons, is supplying Iran with diesel. Crime in the country is absolute rampant now that there is no control. The government has lost control. They're increasing fuel prices, taxes, and the Eskom nonsense with power is nothing but theft. When the people are in control of Eskom or giving their daughters Maseratis, they're worth $500,000. There's something wrong with this picture. And people keep giving loans to Eskom to get it back on its feet. And it keeps collapsing, load shedding, all this nonsense because of mismanagement. When they did put somebody in qualified in there to try and sort it out, they fired him because of the color of his skin. Not one municipality in South Africa is solvent. It's all corrupt. All the tenders are corrupt. And services are not being done. The local people are frustrated, but erroneously are going there and burning down the buildings that will provide them services. It's not the buildings, it's not the vehicles, it's not the equipment that's the problem, it's the people in charge. These are the people you need to get rid of. Ace Mashula was trying to make excuses yesterday, stating that in time we will solve the problem. Nothing is perfect. Well, you've had 25 years to solve the problem. We can't wait 25 years more. There is nothing left. And it's because of people like him, Ramaphosa, especially Zuma, Malema, the country will go to the dogs. These people need to go. There's 50 million South Africans and 500 thieves in the government. A government that's totally corrupt, useless. The police do not do their jobs. I've seen umpteen videos where the police are blatantly racist towards white people. I've seen umpteen videos where the police are corrupt and taking bribes on the roads. The police are incompetent when it comes to crime. Not all of them. Evidence is not being gathered. Fingerprints are not being taken properly, or the evidence is being lost. All you have to do is go sit in the courtrooms in South Africa and listen to the horror stories. I heard a case the other day where the lady borrowed money from some people and she couldn't pay them back. So they took their 7-year-old daughter and started chopping her fingers off one by one. What is wrong with you people? No more money to the South African government. No more aid to South Africa. Full-blown 100% sanctions. That's what I'm calling for. until the minority rights of South Africa are guaranteed. This land expropriation is nothing but theft. I ask a question. Every single citizen in the United States, born here or came here and became legal citizens, are you suggesting that we must all leave and hand this country to the Native Americans? Understandably, they also went through trials and tribulations and lies and violations of human rights. But this is the 21st century, and we cannot fix the past. We can only fix the future. Anyone that says that Africa is a color is a racist. Africa is a continent which consists of millions of people and millions of languages. 50% of Africa is Arabs, 40% is black and Nguni people, and the rest are Asians and whites and mixed races. Every child born in Africa is an African, including me. I was born in KwaZulu-Natal in the 1960s. Every single child in South Africa born there is an African, irrespective of color. Because if you say anything else, you're a racist. And when you take all the land and all the property and all the stuff you can steal, and all these people who are standing in the street, 1 million, 2 million, 3 million people, all the minorities, and there's nothing left, and none of the farms are working, and there is no food in Pick and Pay, Spar, Game, or whatever there is there. Who are you going to blame? The white people? The minorities? The fact is, every single person in South Africa, other than the Khoisan, need to get the hell out. You don't belong there, according to you. Every black tribe in South Africa right now, in Nguni people, they came from the north. As the Sutus, the Xhosas, the Zulus, the anything other than Khoisan. And don't give me the crap that they black. These are sand people. That is just an excuse to take over. I challenge every single politician in South Africa, irrespective of color, meet me in international court. Prove your case that you own that land. You do not. In fact, you need to go to the Khoisan and ask them permission to divvy up land, because you have no right to it. It doesn't matter how much piece of paper you put up, how much you want to twist the law, change the lie. You do not belong in Southern Africa either. The fact that you are the majority is like gangs taking over. But who is the rightful owner of the land? Not the whites, not the colored people, not the Zulus, not the Xhosa, Venda, South Sutu, anybody except the Khoisan. So this argument about land reform is null and void. Meet me in international court. $9.4 billion in US tax money gets sent to South Africa for aid. Where is it? Why are they going into the pensions of people who will devastate all the Gokos, all the old people? Where is that aid going to? Why are we not seeing results? $9.4 billion a year? Somebody's getting very rich and everybody's very poor. With $1 billion, I could revamp your entire police departments. $1 billion, I could revamp the entire farming communities. $1 billion, I could pay your whole national debt off. $1 billion, I could revamp the entire electrical grid of South Africa. Where is the $9.4 billion going? There's something wrong with this picture. And those that are on my page insulting, get off. Nobody's interested in your comments. Because in the end, we will hold the ANC government accountable. People didn't believe me. But one day, Ramaphosa, Malema, Zuma, Ace Mashula, and most of these others will face us in international court for human rights violations. If you think I'm joking, we ain't joking. We're working on it. We have people walking to the White House right now. And I would like to thank the people that donated money towards the boots, because Jason Bartlett has new Under Armour boots. He's in Arkansas now on his way to the White House. Everywhere he goes, he's doing interviews, exposing the lie. Those of you who are very interested in trying to make this work, the United House of Monarchies, they want you to join them. It's a non-racist, non-sexist organization of tribal leaders, whites, coloreds, and Indians. They're tired of what's going on, and they're tired of the theft, and they want your help. King Bryce Umzumkulu is running it with the help of the Zulu Prince, Prince Zulu, and his wife, who's a Khoisan queen, Princess Annie. I just want to congratulate Britain for getting out of the EU. Great job. That's what I'm talking about. That's when they say the people won. You are the power. You are the one that votes. That's when democracy wins. When true democracy wins. In South Africa, I know that hundreds and hundreds of young kids, black and white, are leaving because they don't see any hope in the country. And they should be the ones staying to build it up. You need to get rid of these old tsotsis, these old people who don't understand what's coming. In the end, South Africa will collapse. It's unsustainable. You cannot allow hundreds and hundreds of people coming across your borders with no control. They will take everything and leave, and you'll have nothing left. And your own people are suffering. To the north of Mozambique right now, you got Boko Haram and ISIS killing people, chopping them up, hacking their heads off. That's coming your way. The South African government is supporting Iran. Bunches of ISIS camps inside your country, training camps, some of them in your military camps. We know. To the people of South Africa, black and white, you need to get rid of these terrorists. Do not believe the mouth of a Tsotsi, because all he has is empty promises. Malema sucks you all in with the one bullet, one Boer. He sucks you in about how he gets you all wound up on racism, but does he give you solutions? Has he built a school? That's another thing, schools. $9.4 billion. $1 billion can build tons of schools. Where are they? Why are the hospitals without medicine? Why are the beds outside the hospitals, not inside the hospitals? Where's the mattresses? Where's the linen? Where's the medicine? It's all gone. Has Malema built a school? Has he built a clinic? Has he tried to build one? No, they want your vote so they can crook you too. Have you watched them behave in parliament? Can you imagine what they will do when they're in power? They have no discipline. They have no culture. These are like teenage boys running around. They have no respect for the old people. So why will they respect you? According to the UN, stats from 2012, South Africa has the highest murder rate in the world. It also has the highest rape rate in the world. It now has the highest crime rate in the world. It has the highest corruption in the world. And we give them $9.4 billion. Elena Marks, I hope you're watching this, because if you do not stop this, we will stop you and have you removed. There is a petition to have you removed. There is a recall petition to have Elena Marks recalled from South Africa. She is incompetent, delusional, and doesn't understand the situation there. To President Trump, we appreciate that you sent somebody to South Africa that may have understood because they were born there. But this person is not qualified. She does not understand the complexities of what's going on. I was once a businessman there too, but as well aware of what was going on because I worked in the townships for over 10 years. I saw what was happening there. The ANC government has not given back in 25 years. All they've done is take, and take. In 25 years, do you have 25 new schools? In 25 years, do you have 25 new hospitals? In 25 years, what do you have? You have the worst racism that country's ever seen, even before apartheid, during apartheid. I heard Ace Mashula saying how terrible it was during apartheid. During apartheid, only 22,000 people were murdered. 22,000 people were murdered. An average of 60 people are murdered a day in South Africa. But during 1948 to 1994, 22,000 people in total. Since 1994 to this day, over 500,000 people have died in South Africa, murdered. That's what's been reported, not the ones we don't know about. So this constant racism by the ANC government is nothing but a smokescreen to suck your emotions in and make more racism, and while the country is dying. Every single person in South Africa wants to be left alone, have a job, have medical insurance, and be able to educate their children without crime, without corruption. The South African government is against the US government. It is declared they want South Africa they want the United States to shut up but give them aid. They vote 99% against us in the UN. %99. The ambassador in Venezuela, the South African ambassador in Venezuela, said that he would assist Iran and Venezuela against the United States. Julius Malema said the United States and Trump in particular to stay out of South Africa. It's got nothing to do with him. Ramaphosa said the same thing. He also lied about the farm murders internationally. Lied. $9.4 billion in US tax money aid. It's got to go. It will be ceased. We will campaign to have it stopped. I'm calling for full-blown sanctions on South Africa for violating human rights, going against the United States. If you're not with us, you're against us, and supporting Muslim terrorism, extremists. Why should we help you? We also demand that the rights of all minorities in South Africa be guaranteed. And this land reform is illegal. Not only is it a human rights violation, but it's an international law that states you cannot violate the land rights of people. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the like button. There's a donation link at the bottom. We're trying to help lots of people. I can't keep it up anymore. People got to help me. We got a guy walking to the White House. He needs funds too. I'll keep you updated of what's going on. And I'm trying to get on the road with Jason for a couple of days and walk with him. I can't be with him all the way. And if you're out there and you're South African and you can walk with him, please join him. We'll give him support. But this message is going to get out. And to all the minorities in South Africa, you cannot fight this by yourself. You have to join forces. To all the Afrikaans people, I can put 100 of you in a room. And by the end of the week, there'll be 100 political parties. because none of you will join forces. You're all fighting each other. So they conquer and divide you that way. To all the minorities in South Africa and all the people that have been marginalized, like the tribal leaders, join forces. You don't have to change your identity. You don't have to change your culture. But you have to get rid of the ANC and the EFF. And people like the BLF, you have to get rid of them. You need to bring back the death sentence. You need to get rid of all the foreigners inside your country. And you need to stop the drug trade. Because what is happening is, if they take over the Central Bank of South Africa, that will be the capital of all the drugs in the world. They will launder the money through the South African Central Bank. And then you lost. To all the Christians in South Africa, all these so-called hallelujah $10 people, where are you? To all the Christian leaders, South Africa used to be the most Christian country in Africa. Where are you? Why are you allowing this communism to take over? Why are you not in the streets stopping this? Why are you not talking to your congregations to stand up and march? God's not coming on your knees. Read the Bible. Many of the tribes of Israel fought wars because of God, not on their knees. You have to stand up now, in mass, together, and stop fighting each other. Because those Tutsis and those thieves inside the government are playing you all with racism. And your country's dying, day by day, dying. And when we cut this aid off, and we will, there will be nothing left. This is the Hawk. Please share. Tell your friends, tell your politicians, tell the rest of the world that the African National Congress of South Africa is a human rights violated government. The Economic Freedom Fighters of South Africa are a terrorist group. I'm calling on the world to have Julius Malema declared a terrorist, a human rights violator. Just like in America, you cannot incite people to murder. And that's exactly what he's doing. The ANC is in the middle of a turmoil, and people don't see it. They're giving you rhetoric to get you all going. But Zuma's sitting there with Ace Mashula and the deputy president, and they're trying to take power from Ramaphosa. And Ramaphosa needs to stand up and get some canonis and arrest them. Why is Zuma not in that commission right now? We thought he was sick. He's not sick. They're too scared to put him in jail because he's going to tell on them. They're all criminals from the top to the bottom. I'm out of here. Take care and be careful out there. And don't hate your brother and sister. And stop killing one another. And stop thieving. Your problem is not the people around you, it's the government. I'm out of here.